Hey Hardin County, this is Michelle Labus, and I attended the commissioners meeting today. They were doing a tour of the Annex building and the courthouse, and so I wanted to see what kind of updates they had there. And when I went into the meeting, of course, they're not expecting me because I've not been coming, and they definitely have a lot of discussion going on prior to the morning meeting. So I do know discussion is happening, it's just not in public, and Tim was already signing off on papers there at the table, and so it definitely gets relaxed pretty quick if people aren't watching, and so it is what it is. But so they had a couple things. I mean, they do sign off on a lot of papers in their box, but it's not necessarily things that they have listed on their paper, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But we waited until 9:30 and we walked out and down to the Annex building. You'll see in the video they're having trouble with the corners of the little wall around the courthouse. The corners of the courthouse, they need to be fixed, and then it looks like they're having some concrete wall issues with the Annex building, which they're already going to update the fence and stuff on that side, for the new sidewalks and roads and those kinds of things. So we tour all that. We go into the Annex building, which is there next to the city building. And because a lot of this stuff is sensitive information with the health department and Job and Family Services, I didn't record back in there. And it's just hard with everybody kind of in the way to really get a idea of what the buildings look like. But I do have a picture of the second floor layout, and there's a ton of room up there. I mean, it's kind of a big maze when you get up there, but lots of space. It looks really nice. There's one area that looks like there's maybe a water leak, but really there's just paint touch up for the most part is going on at the Annex there, and they have nice carpet, and looks like everybody's doing a good job. I do include in there JFS up on the second floor. They got a grant for some visitation rooms, so they moved it from one room into 2 rooms, and so I kind of show you that because I think that's kind of nice. They've done a real nice job up there. But everybody was very nice, very friendly as we were walking around, and so that was enjoyable to be able to see some faces of the people who are working so hard for our community, because it's a tough job over there. So then Tim wanted to go back and listen to Governor DeWine's address. We missed like 45 minutes of it, and so we went back to the office and they turned that on, and we listened to it for a while. He could watch it at home if he wanted, but I'm not sure why they did it in the public meeting. And then we started touring the courthouse. Again, a lot of sensitive information, a lot of like the courts and the veterans office. For whatever reason, you're not allowed to take cell phones in there. The different, the treasurer, there's just not many places you can take cell phones, and because of sensitive information. And so I didn't record all that. They've done so much work on the courthouse with the windows and the HVAC and all that kind of stuff that they're really kind of down to the nitty gritty. They did the basement drywall, so that's a big improvement. The engineer's office with the GIS office, it's down there on the first floor. They did ask to get a new countertop because their countertop's really old. They still have paneling, which, hey, you did the basement, you got rid of the paneling in the basement, come on people, so they want to get rid of the paneling upstairs, maybe take down some of those temporary walls and kind of open it up a little bit, give it a nice facelift, which Joe was, I have to tell you, this group of commissioners are by far very generous. Anything that people asked of them, or like the concrete crumbling, they were like, yep, we'll pay for it. They paid $48,000 to do new tongue and groove for the museum porch. So if you're out there and you are looking for some improvements, they're on top of it. So very generous, and I think, very easy to work with if you're needing something. And so they said for the engineer's office there to put together a plan and present it. I know once you went up to the when you went up to the second floor, things were not quite as modern. Some of the paint colors are pretty dated. They're not really very pretty colors. I know the auditor's office is having trouble with one of their walls not being insulated very well, and there's a lot. I will say, in touring these offices in the annex and the courthouse, people are kind of messy. There's not a lot of storage. I don't know if they don't have storage shelving, or I know the auditor said they were going to take a bunch of permanent documents over to the North Annex building that they're kind of fixing up over there for storage. And so but not laid out very well, you know, as far as feng shui type of mentality. The lighting sometimes is really terrible. I know they're still looking at some HVAC things, but anyways, I know the one office I was really surprised. It's the probation, the probation office. It was probably in the worst shape. Well, not necessarily, but their carpet tiles are really old, and the office is really just very open, and you know, so hopefully they'll get a little bit of an update up there to make it just a little bit more inviting. Maybe the law office had some mauve carpet in it, which is pretty outdated. I thought was pretty funny, and that's a place where they use quite a bit up there. And so Judge Santos' office up there where the court is, she's got like a little court inside that office there. They are having some, from even last year, some painting issues, and so hopefully they'll get those fixed. But I will say, even in the annex side and the courthouse side, when they were asking about you know, maintenance issues, they all said that Richard was very attentive and he was on top of things and really helped each other, you know, helped when asked. And so I thought that was pretty impressive. And you know what the feedback loop is for the commissioners there. So other than that, we didn't go up to the third floor. Well, we did go up to the third floor, but we just kind of hit the main offices there. So definitely, I mean, the roof is done, the windows are done, you know, we're kind of down to just aesthetics things, or maybe some long overdue improvements in the courthouse. And I'm sure the commissioners will be making their mark in that way. But other than that, it was a pretty easy day, pretty good day, and we'll talk at you later. All right, bye.